Make your life better with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a warehouse worker, earn $14.50 per hour plus a $175 weekly bonus for some shifts. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/Louisville. That's upsjobs.com/Louisville.
Bet River Sportsbook has supercharged its iOS app. Download the update today from the Apple App Store and see the difference for yourself. Must be 21 or over to play. Playable only in Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Exmark makes the mowers that care for the lawns that set the stage for the backyard life. As the commercial mowers more landscape pros trust, Exmark mowers get you on and off the lawn without compromising cut quality, comfort, or reliability. Exmark, official mowers of the backyard life, starting at $29.99. Learn about the available finance offers and check them out today at The Mower Shop, 7400 Preston Highway, Louisville, Kentucky, 502-969-6433.
Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maben. 8150-939 is the number. 939 is the station. And if your day goes as well as Steve's morning is going, it should be one of your more exciting days of the week, of the month, of the year. Steve Rubridge in the building, Brian Hall in the booth.
I had a very unfortunate my buddy Justin
he saw it.
Oh man. Yeah, so anyways, I had a very unfortunate accident, typo, where I said, Brian, I put on my Facebook story, Cherry Vanilla Coke is the GOAT, right?
Oh,
Cherry Vanilla Coke Zero.
Just leave it at that, Steve.
And
it wasn't the right thing.
I had a typo in the word Coke.
I guess I know what it is.
Yeah, all the words were the same.
It's like South Carolina.
There was one letter. No.
Oh, okay.
No. That was good. That was a good guess, but it was.
It was terrible.
COKE, and there was one letter changed.
It was terrible.
It was terrible, and luckily I noticed it and changed it. I did get one message though, so at least one person saw it. So that was.
At least you got to it pretty quick.
That's a good day. It's a good way to start the day. How we doing?
Hey, things happen.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's good to be in here as usual. Every time me and Marcus were like, man, I don't know, man, it might be time for summer, we realized that first off, we dominate summer radio, so I'm okay with that.
Yes. And so everyone who asked me this question, we're going to answer it for you publicly. Steve is answering it for you now. We dominate with our summer personalities in summer radio. We made our bones in summer radio. So people,
I love summer radio.
Don't ask me again. How do you guys do it in summer? Because we are personality. We have personality. We enjoy life. We're not just looking for a story where someone went broke or something. Hey, did you see something? He spent his money.
Yeah.
He's not going to be any good. He got fired. No, we don't do that. We have a good time. So you say summer radio. We come in here. We brainstorm for 3 minutes. Then we realize we're not going to get to half of the subjects we plan to talk about.
No, and we have quite a few today because in this area, I say it all the time, man. When we talk about doing radio, I'm like, I don't know, man. We're kind of blessed to do it in the area we do it in because in this area, everything's a story. And it's now. I will say the difference is I have noticed in SEC country, they will talk about the exact same thing every day. They don't care.
Right.
In Knoxville, they will talk about every single day that Harrison Bailey might be the guy.
We did starting fives yesterday, and I got to admit, I'm proud of you guys. I'm legitimately proud. Steve, you and I talked about, I started to get that twinge that the people were getting a little agitated with us by putting off these starting five talk and the roster talk. Mm-hmm. And then we took the Derby selection or the posting whatever selection. Yeah. And I could feel the angst.
Yeah.
And Steve, I got on the internet last night. I got on my YouTube channel and I said, let's talk about starting lineups.
Yeah.
I saw every starting lineup. The interaction absolutely blew up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, y'all can really y'all can really talk about this basketball stuff.
Oh, no, it's amazing.
All day long. And again, having Lamar Jackson as our de facto quarterback for our de facto Ravens is a good side story to eyeball. So this is one of those days we get to talk a little bit of draft, a little bit of, NFL, moving around, a couple little things.
Somebody on the air yesterday kind of backed up what me and Marcus try to tell everybody.
It's just some random guy, though, right?
Yeah, just Jeff Borzello. So,
oh, you mean just the caller?
Well, kinda. Was on with Jeff Greer yesterday and kind of said what we've been saying. So
we're definitely going to get to that.
With that being said, maybe there is another guard in the fold. I heard Bryant Sports Center. We'll talk about that.
Maybe there is another guard, and are we going to find a way to put baggage on this guard, Steve?
No, but I have a theory with why maybe if you have a shot to take a high schooler, maybe there is some benefit of that over a transfer. So we'll talk about that. We can chat with that too. So
is that going to be one of those summer conversations as well? Just
kind of, because you almost have to look beyond this year, and you have to be comfortable with the coaching staff to develop that we have enough to win now. Yeah. So
speaking of development, we've actually seen an 8 month transition.
We've watched a man turn into a beast. A man child. It's unreal. I'm looking. I'm listening. No. Not sure what's going on. Yeah.
You got to talk for a second.
Okay.
I'm about to lose my mind.
Okay. All right. That was a quick turn of events in the Marcus Maben attitude. We went from everything was fine to everything is not fine now. So we'll let him we'll let him handle that. But yeah, so we'll get in. We'll dive deep.
I got some quotes. I got kind of a conversation from a Nick Saban quote that we're definitely going to get to, but I'll have to protect my sanity at the moment.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fair enough. We'll get to Nick Saban too. I always enjoy some Nick Saban. So, anyways, let's see.
It's almost NFL draft time, so it's right about that time that Nick Saban's speaking up to get his boys out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He's gonna have a lot of boys in the first 2 rounds.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. I mean that's insane. Look, the first text. I do love our fan base. We don't forget the first text into the show today. The pessimist in me is saying the Arizona decommit Dizzoni is going to be the next Brian Bowen and give us the death penalty.
Well, people are going to say that because of the show. I mean, it's attached to Sean Miller.
Oh, yeah, that was like.
This is insane.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Okay. This is what's happening here.
Oh my God.
He's Mark's is having a moment. No camera detected.
Oh, you didn't see that. I Jesus Christ.
Oh, I mean, I'm looking at the camera right here. So. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Let's just do this now, I guess. All right. Oh, that's terrible. Oh yeah, we can't have that. We can't have the show. They've hacked Marcus's computer.
What's going on in there?
And the only way you can watch the YouTube is if it has a blue shade over it.
You mean like a filter?
Like a blue screen.
Nice.
You can see us.
So you can only hear the audio.
No, you can see us. We're just in all
look
blue. We're all blue.
I'm blue.
You've been hacked.
Tell them what you just saw one more time.
Oh no, yeah, no. It is completely. It is completely blue. That is that's very unfortunate. Very.
Don't worry. Just tread water for a couple more seconds.
Yeah. That's no. I'm okay. Look. Everybody leaves me out to dry. I can do that. I can make it through this. But yeah, no. That is unfortunate. So I guess before we get to all that. Before we get to the basketball conversation, which I know this is terrible. It's terrible. I know. Do what?
I almost got it, y'all. where you want to start, Steve? You want to start with my wait? Did the JJ Trainer, the University of Louisville video?
Sorry, Brian was playing music.
Yeah, I'm blue, double D.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Let me ask you. Like I said, I'm pretty sure by now people have seen the Louisville video, the basketball video release. Basically, what is it? One of those kind of like we're silent right now, just working in silence was the theme of that video.
Sure.
Did it confirm anything I was saying when you saw the facial structure of JJ Trainer?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When you talked about that. He had grown everywhere.
Yeah,
like he was a bigger guy altogether. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And you could see it in that video, man. And I enjoyed that video because it was kind of like, hey, man, just because you don't hear anything, like we're over here, we're all here, we're doing our thing. Everybody talking about this guy's leaving, this guy's leaving, this guy's coming in, this guy's going. It's like, nah, dude, we got something right here. And we're taking care of business while everybody else is chatting. So I liked the theme of the video. Guys look good in there too, So I mean, it was good. It was good to see, and that kind of goes forward with I think the conversation where I would probably begin is with our roster overall.
Are we just going straight roster?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I would go. Brian, do you have our clip that I was looking for? This is Jeff Borzello.
Okay, we're good, people. We're good. All is right with the world.
Perfect. This is Jeff Borzello talking with, help me out here, Jeff Greer. Jeff Greer yesterday.
I don't think so. I mean, I guess the trend on Twitter seems to be that Louisville should go after one of the elite point guards left in the portal, Devontae Jones, Severe Wheeler. I'm not sure they do. And by the looks of it, they're not really pursuing either one. I mean, I spoke to Wheeler yesterday morning, and he's getting looked at by Kentucky, Kansas, Gonzaga, Michigan. No contact from Louisville. I asked that, and he said no. Devontae Jones, I guess my money right now would be on either Michigan or Texas Tech. He said Zoom calls with both of them. So it doesn't seem like they're really pursuing either one, and I'm not sure they need to. I mean, you just went through the four guards they have. They still have Dre Davis. They have Sam Williamson. Both guys can play on the perimeter. Matt Cross has some touch from the perimeter. So is Quinn Slazinski. They have a lot of guys. I mean, if they did bring in a high-level point guard that expects to play right away, Jared West suddenly is going to play backup. I mean, and are you really going to play him with a point guard? He's 5'10". He could shoot. He was a really good distributor last year. I mean, he's coming in expecting to play the point. Ellis can handle some point guard. You mentioned Mike James can play the two. Noah Locke is a kind of a pure shooter at the two. I'm just not sure there's a ton of room really for a guy, a really immediate impact point guard. I think they have a pretty good 9-10 man rotation right now, with two solid players at pretty much each position across the starting five. I kind of like where their rotation is at right now. Obviously, Carlik Jones or David Johnson coming back would have been a huge boost to the perimeter, but I don't necessarily think they need to go out and really get one of these top guys left on the board.
Well, no crap, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff Borzello.
Is that enough, Steve? Because it's never enough.
Yeah, like maybe that's enough to say, you know what?
You just heard Jeff Borzello tell you, without telling you, Mac just loaded his roster for this year.
Yeah.
And short of the top 3 point guards in the country that are open market,
sure,
that you got to pay for,
yeah,
it's going to be hard to get a player in here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because when you look at the roster, they're 2 deep at every position. In the front court, they're 3 deep at each position. Depends
on who you count as. Yeah.
Well,
either way.
But I mean, small forward, you've got Sam, Dre, Matt Cross. The power forward position, you have Withers, JJ, Quinn. At the center position, you have Malik, Wheeler, Wiz. Like, I mean, you're 3 deep at every position, and you got 4 guys that can play guard. 3 that we know for a fact can, because they've done it.
You think Sam won't be a better ball handler next year?
I know. It's like
you think Sam is incapable of playing the 2 guard?
Well, right. And here's the thing: when you say things like, "Oh, well, they got to go out and get a top 3, 4 guard," well, No top 3 or 4 guard is going to come into a roster like
with
that.
Sam Williamson.
And say, oh yeah, y'all got all that? Y'all got okay, Noah Locke. He holds the freshman record at Florida, 3-pointers. Okay. Y'all got Jared West. Oh, okay, who was one of the all-timers in Conference USA defensively. Okay, and you got L. Ellis, the number 1 JUCO point guard coming in. Yeah, you know what? Let me go there.
Yeah, I'm just a 6'5" scorer.
Right.
And I got to deal with Mike James,
Yeah.
Sam Williamson,
Yeah.
DeAndre Davis,
Matt Cross.
and Matt Cross.
Mm-hmm. It's just not going to happen, man. It's so, and we'll get into that. Why I think,
And they're young. It's not like they're seniors headed out the door either.
no, absolutely. After this season, Malik and West are the only 2 that. Now I hope a couple others
Right.
make a jump.
Right. I hope we're losing JJ.
Yeah. I hope that for our season, but they're the only 2 that have to leave. So, it's not as easy to just go out and call one of the top guys, which is, I'm glad that Borzello actually put out there, hey, I talked to 2 of the top guys. They haven't even heard from Louisville. So, they're not actively pursuing. That's why I think Louisville is okay to not do much of anything right now.
Right. If they find a perfect fit,
Yeah.
like a Brian Bowen or something like that.
Right.
If something falls in our lap like Brian Bowen.
Yeah. And I think that if that you don't have to, what did you say? Don't have to pay a dime for it. But and that'd get me into the conversation where I say with the report that was on the guys over at the Rivals site, Louisville Rivals, Ty Spalding and those guys, and you'll have to go there to get anything beyond a name.
I didn't want to.
Yeah. Look, word spreads enough. They know that a name's going to pop out, but I'm not going to go much deeper than that because you can go kind of check their stuff out for that. And it's worth it. But just the Arizona decommit.
Explain to people what's going on with
who
that.
is I think it's Shane Dizzone or Shane Dizzoni. I'm not sure how you say it.
We'll go with Dizzoni.
That works. Dizzoni works.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me too. You're talking about a 6'5" guard who's out of high school, who's
Decommit from Arizona.
who is a 4-star player. In my opinion, I'm kind of starting to side with, if we're going to take another guard, give me either a young transfer or a guy like that, 6'5". Give me a 6'5" guard out of high school, because for as young as this team is, I think they can get unyoung very quick. And what I mean by that is Malik goes, West goes, a guy like Trainer or JJ or Jalen have a jump and they go. Then all of a sudden, Locke's a senior. Sam's a senior or junior. He's looking to go, and you're looking around. You're like, okay, now maybe we also need to. Now, I do say what you said is true. College basketball is now such a year-to-year basis that I'm not as worried about that, because you can obviously, if you look at Louisville this year, you can load a roster just like that. Louisville said, "Oh, we need shooting. Okay, let me go get 3 guys that shoot over 40%. Boom, done." Now all of a sudden, this shooting team is lethal for Louisville. You're going, Louisville went from a team that's not a good shooting, a 3-point shooting team at all, to now you're going, they're probably one of the 3 best 3-point shooting teams in the ACC. They're a lethal 3-point shooting team now. Everybody on the court can shoot threes now. It's insane.
What would you rather Sam get better at if you were going to take one thing? His shooting, his 3-point shooting, or his ball handling?
Oh man, that's tough.
Brian, what say you? You can give Sam an off season. He makes a big jump in his 3-point shooting or his ball handling.
I'd say his ball handling, because he's already like a decent shooter. He's not a great shooter, but if you have a 6'7" guy that can attack the basket and get to the lane at will, it creates a whole different scenario, because I do think that Coach Mack did a pretty good job about getting a bunch of shooters. So we don't necessarily need shooting as much as we did last year.
Yeah.
And we need a guy who can distribute. So if we can get – and we're losing 2 guys that could usually get to the lane at will. So from a team perspective, I think him being able to get to the basket a little bit easier would help us as a team. If we're looking at NBA skills, I'd still say ball handling is probably so individually. You could argue that he could improve his three-point shooting if we're looking at his draft stock, but from a team perspective, I'd rather have a guy that can attack the basket at 6'7".
Because Sam's probably the best rebounder on the team.
Right.
Now that Carleek's gone, because I thought Carleek was exceptional for a guard his size.
And are you going to want Sam lingering around the three-point line this year?
No, because I was going to say, when you said that, before you asked Brian, and I said, that's tough, I almost said, I think I'd rather him get to the basket more. Is what I was going to say, and that wasn't even one of the two options. Because
ball handling counts as getting to the basket.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's
fair
what
enough.
I put it as.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not worried about him.
And I agree with the rebounding too.
What?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't need Sam out there running
because his mid range, man. He's so pure mid range. That's not something that's going away. Like, I mean, he's an elite. I would say he's an elite mid range guy. Yeah. I mean, his touch from around 10, 12 out is, I mean, he does that little one hand, that's just a touch shot. You know, I mean, that doesn't go away. So, I mean, and then, I mean, like I said, and then when you look at it, you're like, he's going to be pushed. Dre and Matt Cross aren't just going to, Sam's get all the minutes. All right. I mean, I'm just happy to be here. You going to keep Dre out? You going to keep Matt Cross out?
We're going to talk about it. Let me get this phone line real quick. Lawrence, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
What's up, Steve? What's up, Marcus?
What's up, man?
First off, I just got to say this. The NCAA are idiots. You actually give this fool 4-year extension. Come on, man.
I know. I saw that.
Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me of that last night, Lawrence.
But I'm with the dude y'all had who was talking.
Barzell.
I believe Louisville fine the way they are. Like, if they add another guy, they just add another guy. If they don't add nobody, I think the team is deep at every position. They find where they are. Like, I know people are worried about the center position, about the Malik Willard being hurt. But I think the team finds where it is. You won't see a up-tempo Louisville team who's going to probably end up beating teams by at least 7 or 8 points every game. And the defense is going to be locked down. And this is what everybody always wanted, a team with shooters that are deep at every position and who can make a deep target run. So I don't see a problem. I think the team's okay where it is right now.
No, listen, Lawrence, I appreciate the call. And we're going to get to because I definitely got to have a conversation about what Lawrence was bringing up as far as the NCAA goes.
Oh, God, yeah.
But to stick with the Sam for a second, because the Sam is going to lead into a transition of a bigger picture conversation.
Texan liked your breakdown, by the way, Brian. So called you Coach Hall.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Likes your what?
His breakdown a minute ago of Sam.
Coach
Hall.
Okay.
Coach B. Hall.
No. Okay, great point.
I used to coach.
Minus the Joe.
I don't know if y'all know that.
Listen,
That's Spalding.
Hey,
yeah, I remember. Yep.
I was at Spalding for a year.
He's the reason they were good.
Okay, Sam.
Exactly. First winning season in a while.
With Sam.
Okay.
100%. Like, don't stay off the line. Get your shots up on that 3-point line, but your ball handling. So you saying getting all the way to the basket, ball handling?
I mean, sure,
because he floats a lot, and I don't want that to turn into charges.
That's I mean, I just mean like getting
around
easier.
People.
Yeah, getting around people, getting your shot. Because I mean, if getting
you got to do more than go left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because his
scout reports out on you, bro.
Listen, like I said, dude, his 5 to 12 is so lethal. If he can get around people and get that up, that's.
But he hasn't stopped floating, right?
He'll be gone.
He hasn't stopped floating though, right? Because he gets rode and he just drifts, and he just gets pushed out of body position so bad.
I know, man. He hits him though.
He doesn't when he gets pushed.
I don't know,
onto the baseline.
He's got that weird.
When he goes to the middle, maybe
that's true.
But when he's on the side and going to the baseline, everybody just hip checks him right. He just always off balance with that.
That's fair. That's fair going baseline.
He needs a counter move.
Yeah.
He got to work on his ball handling.
No, that's 100%.
Yeah, he's got. You got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Dre can bully his way. Matt Cross is a much better 3-point shooter than you are.
Big time.
So they're kind of right on your heels there, where it's like, okay, one can. But the reason why Sam,
Matt Cross is a decent rebounder too.
Oh yeah, no, Cross can play. Cross is the biggest of the three, wide and tall.
And talking about playing football.
Yeah. I mean,
what about Western?
Oh yeah, Carson Williams.
That
was cool.
So he signed with the Las Vegas Raiders after a pro day. It'll be the second player in the last 3 years that they've had play basketball for 4 years and then go on to an NFL career. Which I thought,
Fant, yeah.
Fant was the other one. So Fant actually played like he used.
He was legit,
right?
And he joined the Western team. Didn't really play much.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the second or third string tight end. Went undrafted. The Seahawks picked him up, put 40 pounds on him.
Yeah.
And then he ended up starting as a tackle within the first year.
Still in the league.
Now he just signed a 3-year, $30 million deal with the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Now, Carson's a guy, he was a former Mr. Kentucky basketball, but he's 6'5", 6'6", 260. But his measurables, he ran a 4.7 40, and he has a 38-inch vertical.
Right.
So, they think that he could either play tight end or put weight on him.
Yeah, a tight end or tackle.
Yeah. And the thing about the part that I thought was weird was usually this happens after the draft. I guess he just knew, he was like, I'm not going to get drafted. I didn't even play a snap of college football, so if somebody's willing to sign me, I'm just going to go ahead and sign.
I mean, listen. Yeah. I remember there's two, and I'm not going to get all off to the football tangent, but I remember John L. Smith. I asked him. I said, Coach Smith, it was me, it was myself, Drew Diener, and John L. Smith, and I said, Coach, why don't you just go get some basketball players for a lot of these positions? He said, Marcus, you got any? Right? Yeah. He's like, no, we're looking for them all the time to come play football.
Oh, absolutely.
All the time.
Well, some of the notable names that were major college basketball players that went on to be good NFL players is Jimmy Graham, Tony Gonzalez, Darren Fells, Julius Thomas, Rico Gathers. All those guys were college basketball.
Antonio Gates.
Yeah, Gates.
Njoku was a basketball player.
I remember they were kind of laughing at me to taking Antonio Gates real high back when he was first starting.
Everybody did,
yeah. And I was like, he played basketball, y'all, and they're, oh man, you tight end. I'm like, dude, he's gonna kill it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I mean, it's definitely a jump that's easier to make because outside of Charlie Ward, when these poor guys come into, you're like, that's Josh Chichester. Josh Tench can play, though.
Right.
Yeah, Josh Tench can play.
The best guys to target are those undersized power forwards because they're 6'5", 6'6", and they're physical because that's the only way they can match up against a 6'8", 6'9" guy. So they have the physical traits to do it.
And which is also why when Coach Satterfield came in here and said we're looking at a Marshawn Ford, former basketball player Marshawn Ford, to fill in some depth in our tight end room, I say, listen, if you got a basketball player and you're sticking him in there at tight end, trust me, he can get that kid playing right. Yeah. That's a position you can get going if you got a walk-on hoops guy that's committed to the sport. Speaking of developing, are we with a roster in a transitional mode of now all we're going to talk about outside of the Arizona guy or every once in a while a name coming up? Are we into full Coach Mack, Coach Pegues, Coach Fennell development time on y'all big time? Quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben on 939 The Ville.
Make your life better with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a warehouse worker, earn $14.50 per hour plus a $175 weekly bonus for some shifts. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/Louisville. That's upsjobs.com/Louisville.
Bet River Sportsbook has supercharged its iOS app. Download the update today from the Apple App Store and see the difference for yourself. Must be 21 or over to play. Playable only in Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Exmark makes the mowers that care for the lawns that set the stage for the backyard life. As the commercial mowers more landscape pros trust, Exmark mowers get you on and off the lawn without compromising cut quality, comfort, or reliability. Exmark, official mowers of the backyard life, starting at $29.99. Learn about the available finance offers and check them out today at The Mower Shop, 7400 Preston Highway, Louisville, Kentucky, 502-969-6433.
Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maven. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. Y'all wasn't ready for that.
I feel like we should probably talk about Lamar Jackson.
You know what? We can do that
After that song. I mean, well, before we do, can I remind people of something really quick?
Absolutely.
Let me remind people of we are your Derby station, and we're just a couple days away from the running of the Kentucky Derby 147, and a reminder that ESPN Louisville is your home for Twin Spires coverage of the Kentucky Derby and exclusive home of the Triple Crown. And again, this year we'll feature full pre-race, race, and post-race coverage for both the Oaks and Derby. It's all on your Derby stations, ESPN 680, 105.7, and 93.9 The Ville, and the ESPN Louisville app. On Oaks Day, on all ESPN Louisville stations, we'll have coverage from 12 noon to 7 p.m., including coverage of the Kentucky Oaks race via the Horse Racing Radio Network. Then on Saturday, we'll have Kentucky Derby coverage. Y'all ready for this? Ain't nobody else doing this. This is ridiculous. 8 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. All day long. We'll have pre-race, race, and post-race, including from around 5 o'clock, the running of the 147th Kentucky Derby via the Horse Racing Network. All that Twin Spires coverage of Kentucky Derby 147 is presented by Cox's Smokers Outlet and Spirit Shop, Baptist Health, Buff City Soap, and UPS Jobs. Appreciate y'all, because that's some incredible coverage right there.
I don't mind.
You could hear what I was editing, couldn't you?
Oh, I didn't know.
I was playing some music back here, and you just got a smile on your face, and I was like, oh.
Oh, no. But I will say, compliments for your editing. If you did the editing for the Many Men, or did it come as clean?
Oh no,
as that?
I got a clean version of it.
I was gonna say, because you got a pure. What's it called? Kids Bop.
Kids Bop. Yeah.
Pat called in. He appreciated the music. He loves some 50 Cent.
Texter says, I'm a true day one to the show, and I still get nervous whenever the songs start playing, hoping they're clean.
Because we did used to mess up a lot.
Hey, I've done a pretty good job lately.
That's funny, too. Text above that says, I don't think people understand how good Matt Cross is. We'll get back to that.
I agree.
Lamar Jackson.
Let's do Lamar Jackson for a minute. You played Many Men, and I feel like that fits Lamar Jackson because, I mean, the man has won the MVP, and what we're like, wow, we could graduate him.
How stupid is that?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, God. How stupid is that?
At some point, it's like people got to get fired for their credibility. Like,
right. I don't know how that changed, but thank goodness.
Sabotaging us because, thank God for DFH. You'll hear about them here soon. According to NBC Sports, Ravens may be the favorite right now to land Julio Jones.
Who would you rather see with the Ravens, Dez Fitzpatrick or Julio Jones?
Don't do that to me.
Okay, I'll give you Tutu Atwell and Dez Fitzpatrick or Julio Jones.
Tutu, don't do it for me, so.
I'll give you Jair, Dez, and Tutu or Julio.
Jair may push it over the top.
Dude, Julio is like a top 3 receiver in the NFL.
That's the point.
But Jair is like a top 3 corner. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So it's like,
Oh yeah, if you
know,
go Jair,
man.
and it changes.
Yeah, okay. Jair, I think I could roll with it. Give me Becton and Jair.
Yeah, and for Julio.
And I'll make the deal. I'll make the deal.
Actually, no. I would take Becton over Julio.
Fair. I mean, that's fair. But Julio, man, he's a freak. I mean, and listen, I've been scarred because I've met Julio before.
Mm-hmm.
So
where did you meet him at? We haven't told that story.
Well, I mean, when I say I met him, like I was
in vicinity.
In the vicinity, yeah. I saw him. Yeah, I saw him in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it was like we were at a restaurant. We went down to the Royal Rumble type thing. I was like, saw Julio
up close.
He's ungodly. I mean, I'm like,
are they trying to check him out? Does he want to get out of there? Does he want to get out of Atlanta?
It's probably time because I think he knows they're kind of in a rebuilding.
And he takes his listen. I'm not sure if he's taking his time on these injuries.
I think
because he might be healthier than he's letting on.
That was going to be my point. I think Julio, wherever he goes, is a refreshed Julio
on grass.
Yeah, Julio's fine on grass.
No, that's my point.
Oh, okay.
No,
I was like, yeah.
If he does have injury, I would love to see him play 6 games on grass in Baltimore.
Sure.
Like he'll be fine when it gets cold, but I would love to, just the wear and tear.
Oh yeah, I mean Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Yes,
does Cincinnati? They might have made the change.
Crappy turf.
Yeah, they might have made the change.
God, Cincy. Get your field together.
But I think 100%, man. I think if Julio would be obviously, John Madden here. Changer. Yeah, I think it's a big deal for Lamar,
that's
their
biggest need.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a big deal for Lamar.
They get Julio and then
you get all linemen.
Oh yeah, the draft.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
I would just get. I would get all linemen.
Defensive linemen. Because now Julio Lamar would have Julio Jones and Mark Andrews. Now I'm like, okay, you've got 2 and Hollywood Brown.
I worry about Andrews.
Well,
yeah, but I like him.
I love him.
Yeah.
But he takes some hits.
Well, they got 2 first rounders. I would think that one of them would probably have to be included for the Julio trade.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe.
100%.
But the other one, I actually think that they'll take a tackle to replace Orlando Brown.
They traded him to Kansas City.
Yeah. They still have their left tackle spot secured because the whole issue with Brown was he was playing right tackle. When Staley got hurt, he moved to left tackle. Left tackle makes more money. He wants to be a left tackle permanently. They traded him, so now they got to replace the right tackle. So I think they'll draft a tackle in the first round.
Somebody said, refresh my memory. What star was Jair Alexander? That's funny.
We got all the smoke.
Somebody did.
He was a 2-star out of South Carolina or something.
Who did it? Oh man, somebody on Twitter, and I'm so sorry, man. Oh, it's a good follow too. But they put out on Twitter, and they were like, "I can't believe Louisville's taking this crap." And they put out an offer list, and it was right after Louisville took Caleb Johnson, right? So people are on there like, I know this is bull crap. Satterfield's got to take better. And they were like, yeah, that was Jair's offer list. And everybody was like, oh. Because it was like
247. 247 had him as a 3-star, but he was the number 85 corner, the number 35 player out of North Carolina, and the number 941st player nationally.
I know. And like his offers, it was like Louisville, South Carolina, and then it was like Furman and different places.
But he was committed to South Carolina.
Yeah, he was committed to South Carolina. Yeah, absolutely. But it was hilarious, man, because like everybody was like, this crap. Satterfield sucks.
Besides South Carolina, he had Ball State, Charleston, Southern, and Charlotte.
Yeah, like, and it was like, people were going fit, and they were like, yeah, that's Julio. Or I'm sorry, that's Jair's list. And everybody was like, oh.
But still,
it wasn't Satterfield.
But yeah, Bobby was better than Satterfield.
But yeah, I mean, I think, and I don't know. Brian says they would have to give up a first rounder, and I think he's right. I don't know. I mean, it's so weird. They may not, though. Yeah,
the value they put on draft picks is so odd when you can get like a Pro Bowl player for like a 3rd-round pick, and you're like, what?
There's actually a. Have y'all ever read the value chart, the Jimmy Johnson value chart?
Yeah, the points.
Yeah. Have you ever checked that out? Basically,
very interesting, Steve. You need
basically, Jerry Johnson put together a value chart of every draft pick, and basically like there's a number like 1,200 points is like, if you can get this 1,200 points of value, and it just has the value of every draft position. And then you kind of like rank the players by it. It's some interesting stuff. So like, it's called I think it's called the Jerry Johnson value chart. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like I said, you'll within the next couple of years, I guarantee you'll hear people go into that.
I'll give you an example. So like the number one pick this year is worth $3,000. The second one is $2,500. Third's $2,200. It goes on down, and like the last pick in the first round is worth like $590. Then you get into like the second round, and they range from $580 to like $270. And then,
Okay.
and you keep going down until you get to the seventh round where they're all worth 1 point. And so it shows you the values of when, like, a team is trading up, they would have to make up, this many points to move up this high. So
Yeah, like
That's
like,
cool.
layup,
I like
for,
that.
for your second rounder, I would have to add up the points of my third, fifth, and ninth, and next year's, third pick.
Yeah, well,
So,
yeah,
to
because-
equal yours.
And they say the GMs use that same chart when they're making the trades.
Oh,
on draft day.
I believe it because and the reason why I say that about Julio Jones is because I can't remember who it was, if it was Jamal Adams or somebody, and it was like I was like, if I'm the Cowboys, I'd give up a first rounder for him. And then I look and I'm like, they gave up like a second rounder and something else, and I was like, what?
Yep.
Why did y'all get him?
But it helps them make a deal though by okay, we let's go by the chart and let's try to make this closer. And then so basically that last fifth round next year, come on, like let's get a deal done. Look, Julio is not, he's not 2,000 points worth of player, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So
he's probably got 3 or 4 years
right
at a top level.
But
right.
it's just the way they kind of negotiate the draft spot. So that's
cool.
Yeah, that's one thing. Again, me following the Detroit Lions trade offers.
How much is Jalen worth?
2.4.
Okay. All right. Get him for a 6th rounder. Straight up.
Right. So whatever it is guaranteed.
No, you said 2.4. Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. I thought you meant points.
No.
That's hilarious. That's
No.
Okay, that's funny. That's really good. I like jokes that it kind of takes me a second. I'm like, oh, that was good. If Julio Jones, and we're going to get back to the basketball, I think I just kind of wanted to break up the monotony of the basketball talk with this because
I got one more question for you though.
Football wise,
yes.
Okay, because
make your point first, and then I'll squeeze in.
I was just going to say, if you get Julio, if you're Lamar, you're talking contract here. I think you're going to put a lot on your head. I think you're going to say, if I'm Lamar, and I know you hate to do this because you hate to think of our superheroes
I'm
like
going
this.
To force feed Julio all day long.
Because if I'm Lamar, I'm like, look, I'm a little more this year. I'm a little less team success. I'm a little more like,
that's my point.
Yeah.
If I'm Lamar, I wouldn't run anything. Julio.
Yeah.
Boop.
No, seriously.
Julio. Boop. Julio. Boop. I will screen, check down, run up stupid Matthew Stafford level fantasy numbers.
I know.
And all I will hear is the maturity of Lamar Jackson. The transition of Lamar, even if your wins go down, you just saw me become a pocket passer by throwing to Andrews and Julio all the
Hollywood Brown. Yeah,
I would stop running. I wouldn't run nothing this year.
I know,
and I'd say it's a conscious decision.
And who that? J.K. Dobbins. They got J.K. Dobbins. Yeah.
Look, hand it off left. Hand it off
that
right.
was kind of my point. Was like, man, it's a contract here too. So like, if you get Julio, you don't get crazy, Lamar, because they'll use Julio against you. They'll say, well, we still didn't beat Mahomes, so don't know if
they
you're
could turn in a minus in 2 years.
And we got you Julio, so we don't know if you're quite worth.
But you know what'd be hilarious?
What's that?
It'd be the funniest thing you ever seen. When Lamar says, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let him hit free agency.
Oh, God.
I dare one of y'all.
Take my talents to Minnesota.
I dare. Which is the question that's coming up next.
That's funny.
No, actually, right now, retroactively.
Yeah.
Go back to draft day.
Yeah.
You would take Lamar Jackson to Cowboys.
Yeah. What kind of questions is that?
I don't know, Steve, because you get kind of.
You've asked some questions before, but what kind of questions is that?
You get sanctimonious. You like Dak Prescott. You wouldn't have took Lamar Jackson on your team.
I would have took Lamar.
No, you wouldn't have.
Yeah.
And who was that quarterback that y'all got in free agency around that time?
Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, totally take Lamar.
Brian would be like, we got cousins. I don't need Lamar.
Brian Hall and Steve Rummage.
No.
If we go back to their Twitters, you're like, I hope Lamar lands somewhere nice, but not Minnesota or not Cowboys.
At that time, I was hoping that they were going to re-sign Teddy on a cheap deal and just take a chance that he was going to be healthy, because that was when he was coming off his injury. And they decided to go Cousins instead.
That's a fair point. I could have swore y'all were bailing on Lamar Jackson.
No, I would have taken Lamar.
I want him high, but I want him on my team.
I mean, I might have said I'm not going to take him first round.
Right?
I wouldn't have took Baker Mayfield, though.
Oh, God.
Even though
the Browns should have taken him.
I thought the Browns that draft had a perfect setup. I was like, okay, duh.
Yeah.
They're going to take Saquon Barkley and Lamar.
Yeah, because they had 2 picks.
Because they had 2 picks in the first re-up.
Hello.
Yeah. Because you remember, we were all sad.
They went.
We were all sad, like, damn, Lamar.
They went Saquon Barkley, Johnny Manziel.
No.
They went Baker.
No, they went Baker Mayfield.
Was the first year after.
Baker went first.
No, they were the same year.
Okay.
He went Baker,
I'm sorry,
and then they
Saquon
went
didn't end up there. So,
Denzel
they went Baker,
Ware or whatever, and I'm like, what? Why didn't you take Lamar and Saquon? You've got Myles Garrett. Now they've got Clowney. Like, can you imagine if they had Lamar and Saquon Barkley? I mean, of course, they do have Nick Chubb, and I mean, I guess they did work out for him, but
he fell. But yeah, y'all remember, because we were so sad. We were like,
I do remember.
His career is going to die before it gets started in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even though we knew Cleveland had some potential. Nobody trusted the Cleveland Browns.
I know.
Setup.
Where would, if Lamar hit free agency now?
Detroit.
Jesus God.
He would, you know what Detroit would turn into if Lamar Jackson hit the free agent market?
Yeah.
Don't say anything mean, Steve.
Okay.
I would be excited. I don't want Jalen Chase and Lamar Jackson every day.
You know where I want? I'd want him to go somewhere like the Niners. Go out west somewhere. Go out and
Which mean y'all don't deserve him here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go, Lamar. Don't let them do this to you. Don't let them downplay anything you've done. You said it, Steve. He's the most underpaid value at quarterback.
Oh, man.
In the history of NFL football.
Yeah, him and probably Russell Wilson. The year he won the Super Bowl, I think he was making like crap.
$850.
Yeah, something stupid. Yeah, it's like, oh.
$850 with a couple of wild bonuses.
Yeah.
A bunch of long shot bonuses that, we'll throw you $250 if you win the championship.
Yeah. Let's dive back into this basketball team when we come back, because we got some more we need to talk about. Some big dudes over on this football team too. Some weight updates. We said about Ashton Gelati, we were like, yeah, he's much bigger. Well, we have confirmation of that.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, we'll get the defensive line may not be as
Middays with Marcus Maven on 939 The Ville.